let's dig into the news this week, where we will begin with a couple stories on Republican map making shenanigans. So, we've been following this story for several weeks now on the show. President Trump is pressuring Indiana lawmakers to call a special session and redraw the state's congressional maps. Well, this week, a potential map has come to light, uh, and this is from Wish TV 8. So, a potential map obtained by News 8 on Tuesday showed a scenario under which Indiana could be left with 9 Republican controlled U.S. House seats out of a total of 9. So, two sources familiar with the discussion said the map has been circulating among Indiana Republican Party insiders for at least a week, though there have not been any formal discussions surrounding them. The sources, who asked not to be identified to discuss internal matters, said several versions of the maps exist. Some give Indiana Republicans an 8-1 advantage in the House, while others would provide a 9-0 advantage. The sources said the maps are purely hypothetical and no formal discussions have taken place. They said the maps came from allies of the Trump administration in Washington, not Indiana Republicans. Notable about this map. So, House districts would be redrawn in a manner that would give Republicans a double digit edge in all of them. Notably, Marion County, that's Indianapolis, would be split among the 6th, 7th, and 8th districts, with Democrat Andre Carson facing a district that stretches into deep red southeastern Indiana. Now, Trish, you've been around Indiana politics for a long time. Have you ever seen something so brazen?
So egregious. Yeah, I can't even figure out what district I would be in on this map, and I live in Marion County. So, um, the most outstanding thing about all of this, though, is the poll that was released 10 days ago, maybe. And at the beginning of the poll, they asked Hoosiers, how do you feel about redistricting? And it was a slight majority of Hoosiers who said that they opposed it. After, during the commission of the survey, the people were told what does it really mean and how will it change, and that number of disapproval went up to 61%.
Wow.
So my entire comment on this is going to be a theme that we've started talking about, and it is the Republicans are in the I don't care club. Hoosiers have voiced their opinion about this. They have said, we do not want this, just like we did not want Senate Bill 1, anti abortion bill. They say that Hoosiers tell the legislature what they want when they are asked individually, and yet the Republicans just do not care. And so that's what I got to say about this map. I have seen, I call the 9th district my home district because I'm from Seymour, and that was capably led by Lee Hamilton and Barron Hill for years and years and years. And now, it's gone back and forth and all over the place. And we'll just see what happens. But the number one thing is Hoosiers are opposed to even the concept of redistricting, but they don't care.
Yeah, so Tracy, I mean, I don't know if you've seen this thing, but it is so egregious that it even splits up the Northwest Indiana region. So up in your area now, I mean, I grew up there. The Northwest Indiana has always been a sort of contiguous congressional district. Lake, Porter, LaPorte counties, at least District 1 under this map would uh, put Lake County and half of Porter County in with a large rural district, expanding from Kentland out to like Kokomo and Peru and Logansport. Meanwhile, it would put northern Porter County with LaPorte County and part of St. Joe in with the second district, splitting South Bend, splitting Fort Wayne, like we already talked about, splitting Indianapolis into 3. How do you feel about potentially sharing a congressional district with Kokomo or uh,
Uh,
Peru or
that
Logansport.
the reason why Northwest Indiana's contiguous district is the way it is because our economic engine is dramatically different than Kokomo. We don't have a lot in common with rural Indiana because that's just not the life we live up here. And how they believe that they can find any way to represent all of those districts in one way, good luck to that. I mean, it is absolutely, of course, exactly what it looks like. A naked power grab that is not going over well with Hoosiers because that's just not the way Indiana rolls. Um, it's Indiana prides itself, at least it used to, on moderation and fairness. Those are bedrock values that Hoosiers care about. Um, and I, I- I'll say what I said earlier. Bring it. They might believe that they're going to be getting a double-digit advantage here, but that advantage could evaporate like that if this economy keeps tanking in the way this economy is planning to tank. Because a lot of the promises that Trump sold these people when they voted for him, they're gone. So try it. Indiana is far more purple than everybody likes to believe it. All you got to do is look at the granular voting data.
Yes, 100%. I mean, Derek, is Tracy onto something there? Is this a potential trap for Republicans? You know, are they spreading their voters too thin in the case of a wave election?
Yeah, I mean, they're putting Marion County in 3 different districts, and that's going to bring more Democrats into districts that they weren't in before. And the way that some of these counties, especially the donut counties,
Hmm.
um, they're getting more people coming from Indianapolis. Martinsville got 69 running through it. That connects Indianapolis and Bloomington. Martinsville is being dragged kicking and screaming into modernity, and it's turning deep purple. Um, so I think they're shooting themselves in the foot while doing this. In at least looking at it, 4 districts, maybe 5, where it's a coin toss. It can become a coin toss.
Well, I'll tell you what. If 4 or 5 districts in this state were competitive, that would be a far more realistic representation of where Hoosiers are at. I'll tell you that. Now, I will say this as far as gerrymandering and this whole push in Indiana, in Texas, in California, everywhere across the country. Um, this is not going to be Trump and Republicans' only play in trying to rig the 26 election. They're going to try gerrymandering. They're going to try voter suppression. They're going to try voter ID. They're going to try banning mail in voting. They're going to throw everything against the wall, see what can get through the courts, and try their best to win this election next year, no matter what the people think. Yes, Trish.
Scott, that you did just bring up something that I forgot that I was thinking about when I saw this map. Coming into a special session, they could do away with mail-in ballots at the same time. They could make some very big statements during this special session. They're not limited to what they can discuss. And so I say, let's look at the fact that they may be doing away with mail-in ballots. And I would start talking about that.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's
That's
already hard to vote by mail here in Indiana, but they could definitely make it even harder. I mean, some states do it almost exclusively, like Washington, Oregon, Colorado.
hmm.
Trump's coming after those states because of their mail-in balloting, and I'm gonna bring that up again later.